Right. Happy Friday, everybody. Gonna get started in a moment so that I get the broadcast going, get everything all set up, ready to go. I want to talk today about some email marketing resources or tools, if you want to call them, that are free that you can use to help boost your email marketing campaigns. A few of them are going to be from iContact and they're free, and just a couple others. I'm willing to chat about anything else, maybe do some research on today's session and just talk about what we can do to help improve our email marketing campaigns to get better conversions and better ROI. And with that, it is 12 o'clock. And what I want to do is share my screen here and just go over some tools. So just give me a second to share my screen here. All right. So the first thing I want to go over is what we call the Ultimate Design Lookbook or Email Design Lookbook. And this was created by the design team at iContact. And it's got a lot of great information and examples about email design. And the great thing about this is you do not need to be a coder or designer or know extensive HTML to create great looking emails. iContact, Campaigner, and many other email service providers have these easy to use email builders. I know iContact and Campaigner have a drag and drop editor and it allows you to really create an email without knowing any kind of HTML. It'll really look professional. We give you some examples and also some inspiration in case you wanted to build one from scratch. But this design lookbook was created to give you inspiration and show you some of the things that you should or shouldn't be doing when you're designing your emails. And let's take a look at the first one. So the design lookbook, we have our content here. And let me just put this graphic up to show you guys what we're looking at. And this is something I'll drop the link in the comments in a few moments as I go through here. But we have introduction, then we have a section on animation, branding, call to action, color, content, layout, message types, illustration and photography, and then some of the designer's picks. If we look at animation, one thing that you can do in your emails, which is not hard to do, there are generators online, is add animated GIFs. These are pretty much like videos, but they are smaller and you don't have to go to an external source like YouTube to watch them. Think of it as a bunch of pictures in a sequence, maybe 10, that kind of overlap on one another or go to the next one. It's kind of like a frame when you're looking at a movie. It goes frame by frame by frame by frame, and it kind of looks like a video. And that's something that you should look into because when somebody opens your email, they'll see the animation and it'll work really great. This is not playing right now, but what I want to do is show you one later. Actually, there's a button in this lookbook that does that. And I'll show you kind of what that does. But an animated GIF is kind of like a dumbed down version of a video, and it allows you to get more across in your messaging, as well as it catches the eye of somebody when they open your email, especially if it's above the fold or what people see when they first open your email. Here's some more examples of using those. This one, you might have the leaves moving and some other things, which is cool. And the lookbook is pretty cool because what we're doing is allowing the designers to point out what they liked about some of these emails, set the tone for social holidays with animated GIFs. So you can have these little stickers moving around or popping in and popping out. It's really cool to use. I would say use animated GIFs if you can, but don't overuse them because if you use them all the time, they won't be novel anymore. When it comes to branding, make sure you're using your branding colors if you have them. If not, maybe look into getting some branding done. There's people out there that can help you do branding or set a brand for your organization. But by using branding in your emails, you're setting the tone. You'll have a certain color scheme that people will get to know, like, and trust. And then, the typographical treatments. In other words, you don't want to use different fonts or use cool fonts all the time. There is a time and place, maybe if you're using different fonts, like around the holiday seasons, but really what you want to do is choose a font that you're always going to use. This way it stays repetitive and cohesive every time you send an email, and then people get used to it. Just some more items with branding and, simple branding, black and white with their logo, classic fundamental layouts with images and then images next to each other, make it look symmetrical. Some more. All right, when it comes to call to action, you see the button, how the text is actually moving. That's kind of like an animated GIF. It allows you to have moving images, which is really cool. But the most important thing in your email is your call to action. What do you want people to do? And this means buy something or learn more, read the blog article. And as you see here, we are using different verbiage on some of these buttons here. We have see how the pros do it. We have celebrate here, which is a really cool call to action rather than learn more or buy now, right? Play around with the text or the call to action in your buttons. And a call to action can also be a headline too. What do you want people to do? Have a headline with a call to action and then the button to specifically take that action by clicking on the button. We have one here, and the call to action is a large header image, header title, and then there's your button here. And this type of email here from OpenTable allows you to consume the content very easily. And they have a couple different calls to action. They're using different color buttons here, which drive your eyes downward. Really cool. Now, when we look at colors, you want to make sure that you're making it be vibrant, or you want to set the tone by using colors. And we have some examples of, blue is for productivity, dependability, calmness, and more. Red is for motivation, devotion, and determination. Green is for well-being, vitality, and natural. Orange is cheerful, conveys affordability and endurance. If that's something that you can do to add to your emails, it's going to help you a lot further. You'll see they're using the orange over here on these buttons over here from Funko, which is pretty cool. Again, you have different colors, a nice neutral palette here, a darker palette. And when it comes to content, make sure you're using the right types of content. Don't bury the lead, get specific, pick a side, don't try to please everyone, get to know your audience and what is going to work for them, and start using that content or those images in your email. And that's important, is to use images. This is a nonprofit example where there are images being used to convey a sense of emotion, or, hey, I want to see how I can help. I want to maybe volunteer, or I want to donate. And that's what images and video can do, and animated GIFs. They can set that tone, build that relationship up front, which would lead people to take action. So some other examples here. Then we have layouts. So this is pretty cool how they have the one image going on top of the other. It's kind of an optical illusion how they're doing that, and they're overlapping the images. That's a cool way to make your email stand out. You can do overlays on top of images. You can do that in Campaigner and iContact's email editor. Really cool. And down at the bottom, we have subheadings and then different fonts to appeal to the emotions of the email subscriber. And here's some more palette items and call to actions. And this email is actually pretty cool because it just keeps you scrolling down, and then kind of gives you that sense of, I want to inquire about why they're speechless, and click on to find out why. Some more great examples. And then you have different types of messages that you can use, right? It could be a newsletter. It can be one that's promoting your blog posts, or it can be selling products or services. This classic home example has a good layout for products with different size images. Kind of keeps you interested in the email. And Yoast, they are using a pun. They have neutral colors. They're separating sections with different colors here as well. And then this one down over here is using a social plug to get people to follow them on social media. This book is really great. I definitely recommend taking a look at this. It's free. It's more for inspiration, and you can read through it in more detail. I don't feel like I need to read it to you the whole time we're here. And what I want to do is get to the photo. There it is, photography and illustration. Make sure you're using really high quality and good images that are going to be compelling and raise an eyebrow or invoke emotion, stuff like that. And use background colors instead of a full background. That can actually deter somebody's attention from your email. The first impression matters, so make that first image or animated GIF worthwhile. And here's some designers' picks. We have Rhiannon, Danielle, and Kyra who picked some emails. So we go through and we choose some items that were pretty good. Tom Hickson of Smithfield, which is an iContact client, use color blocks, clear typographical hierarchy, puts emphasis on the most important content, different types of fonts, kind of draws your eye through, and even the coloring. It's really cool. And then we have a consistent, attractive color scheme, which is important. And let's go to the next page here. We have Ridge. It's a modern design, yet simple in colors. And then they're also using icons, which is cool, which is why this one was pointed out. That's it pretty much for this one. So this is something, let me grab these links and get those over to you so you have them. I'll put it over here real quick. Okay, so this is the lookbook. I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to put it into the comments so you have it. All right, there's the lookbook. And now let's move over to the subject line guide. So this is a guide that will allow you to see about 501 examples of good and bad subject lines. And it's a good resource for you to use. Let me put this link into the comments for you. And I'm going to change the banner out. All right, so this is the iContact subject line guide, 501 of the best and worst performing email subject lines sent by our customers. So this is using our data. We have subject lines and why they matter, welcome messages, specific versus teasers, workflow messages, broadcast, writing tips, holiday promotions, words at work. It goes on and on. This is very comprehensive and allows you to figure out what you need to be doing and maybe what you shouldn't be doing. Subject line matters because it's the first thing people see in their inbox, and it's going to determine whether or not people open your email. And what you want to do is make sure you're using action words, you're using good verbs, you're using emoji, and you're personalizing your subject lines. All those items will actually help you get more opens. And you might want to test as well using what's called split A/B testing, where you take 10% of your list and you test one version of a subject line and then take another 10% and do a subject line test with that. It'll help you get more opens, right? Because then what happens is after the test is over, whichever version wins, A or B, which is 10% and then 10% with version B, you take the winner and send it to the remaining 80% of your subscriber list, and it allows you to send a better performing email to the remainder of your subscribers. We have welcome messages here, and you see that this is a personalized subject line. You requested information from Sarah, so it's the rep that somebody spoke to. This is a 79% open rate. And then first name, important step. I know in my inbox that it's an important thing, so that's a 75% open rate, having action item in the subject line as well as the first name. It goes on and on. These are high performing subject lines, and you'll notice a good deal of those have the first name in there. They're personalizing the email. And if I sign up for something like a video series, talking about that video series in the subject line, here's your first dog training video, we'll get a high engagement rate. And then subsequent ones, like second one, would only be as good as that first video, actually, and the quality of the video. So remember that and think about that. Worst subject lines, drinking water leads to weight gain. Here's your bundle deal. Welcome, especially in a welcome email, you don't want to just say welcome. You want to talk a little bit more in that subject line and tell people about what they're going to receive and get them excited, right? So these are kind of boring. Your welcome gift has arrived. Welcome, pic of me inside, which is kind of more personal probably. So we have specific versus teasers. So if you're specific and then you're teasing, you may or may not get good or bad open rates. It just depends. Like I said, you have to test a lot of these things. Here are some workflow messages. Your research report had a high open rate. You made a great choice, 33%, still okay. Healthcare, so these are broken down by industry as well. So if we're looking at tourism, which right now probably is not doing so well, but hey, Hank, welcome to the Cultural Arts Center. So if I signed up for their newsletter, this would be a good subject line because I'll receive it and then I'll open it because that's probably for the welcome email. And my VIP club membership is just expired. I might want to find out why or when or how much it costs to renew. And it's a good one there. And then we have financial. You see all of these items here. And here's some of the worst ones. End soon, 5% off your next order. If I'm not ready to buy, I'm probably not going to open that. More opens equals more smiles. Do not open this email. Kind of reverse psychology. I guess it doesn't work as per this example here. Here's retail. Want to save 15%? Well, I do, but maybe I'm not interested right now. So that's going to be low performing. Your coupon is waiting. Just try to be a little bit more creative when it comes to some of these subject lines. Maybe a different variant of some of these will work better than simply the ones that are here. But this is based on the data of our customer sending the high and low performing subject lines. We can go on, and there's a lot, broadcast messages, high performing rates, your deposit not completed. I'd want to know why. Last day to enter, it's call to action because it's, timely. You got all these examples here. Remember those offers, Hank? Well, sure I do, but I just wasn't interested. That's a poor performing subject line. So here's some inspiration on how to ensure that your emails are going to get open. Personalized delivery confirmations. Use capital letters. It's okay to do that. Stroke the person's ego. Make sure you use exclamation points. Again, it's okay to do that as well. Use numbers and dollar signs. Spark anticipation. Everybody loves injecting FOMO into their messaging, especially in subject lines. That helps. Last day to enter. Play against industry experts. 81% open rate. A second look. Here's some holiday promotions. Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Mother's Day ideas, Memorial Day, Father's Day, Independence Day, Labor Day. We have Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Black Friday. So there's a bunch of examples for the holidays here. And here's words that work. And then I mentioned you definitely want to use verbs and action words. Alert, reminder, update available, announcing, time to save. Those are great examples of words that you can put into your subject lines. Here's opt-in messages. You want to make sure that if you have double opt-in or you're getting people to make sure they want emails from you, that you're getting them the opt-in. So here's some examples of confirm your Space Lover email newsletter subscription. Make the most of your benefits time. It's hard to say goodbye. That would be kind of a reconfirmation message. Those are examples of good performing emails. And here's some worst. Don't miss out on our emails. Join our mailing list today. Thank you, kind of spelled strangely. And here's subject lines by industries, what to do and not to do for specific industries, nonprofit, software, technology, financial services. This goes on and on. And we can continue to look at these if we wanted to. And then here's talking about split A/B testing and when to segment. Here's a good way. Subject line A, subject line B, and some more examples of those. Here's a pro tip of timing of emails. Make sure that you're planning your emails around certain times of day so that people open them, receive them first, and then open them. Autoresponder messages. Here are some subject lines, worst performing subject lines. And then we have some editor picks at the bottom here of some good examples. Clown costume advisory, 59% open rate. More about heart attack, juice, sad news. So you want to take a look at these and see what would perform well for you. Hopefully this will give you some inspiration to move ahead and start getting more opens in your emails. All right, here's iContact's content calendar. I want to get a link to this in the chat going so we can have that. And that's what's up next. Let me get back to the chat. Let me get my link. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys these links so you have them. All right, content calendar. Here it comes. There is your link for your content calendar. And I know we're kind of almost halfway through the year, so we can skip March and go from April. So this allows you to print this out, pin it up, and gives you a task list so you can know what you're doing, look at what days might be good to send an email, and it gives you some, like Earth Day, some Honesty Day. It gives you some fun holidays to look at. And you can also plan your emails out and sketch your own and say, this is what I want to build for my next email, and even have our design team create that for you if you wanted to. And here's some inspiration for spring. And then we have a little notepad here that allows you to go through and make sure you're setting yourself for up success when you're creating your next campaign. Here's May. Again, some inspiration for May, and your have at it. June, July. So it just goes through the remainder of the year. It's a great tool and resource for you to go through and plan your emails each month, and maybe even choose one of the holidays, or don't forget to send on a specific holiday, right? Because Cheese Pizza Day is an important holiday, right? But then you also have like Labor Day, which is something that you want to send out, but you want to know when that is. So you want to start creating your email maybe the week or 2 weeks before. Kind of goes on through, like I said, through the whole year, and it's free. Link is in the comments. There's a way to contact us at the end if you have any questions or you want to use iContact. Let's move on to nifty images. Let me switch up the banner and let me grab that link for you guys. Coming back over, and I'm putting the link in. So Nifty Images does have a free version and also paid, but what's really cool is you could put countdown timers is probably what I would like to point out. And let me see if I can log in here. I forgot my password, so let me go back. I don't have time to look for that right now, but you can use personalized images and countdown timers. So let's just take a look. So here's an example of a countdown timer. So you could put that in your emails, and it'd be really cool. They allow you to personalize per recipient as well, but they have different versions of the countdown timer, and that's really what I wanted to show you from Nifty Images. They integrate with iContact, and you can use them with iContact with ease, and with Campaigner as well. And this is definitely a tool that you want to look at. What you want to do is have great images with your emails. With iContact, we provide you with Getty stock images, but maybe you don't use iContact, or you want to use some images. One option or resource would be Unsplash. And let me grab that link and put that into the chat as well. So this is Unsplash. These are royalty free, meaning you will not get in trouble for using them. And then we have another one, which is going to be Pixabay. So I can search in here for office, and it'll give me a bunch of images for an office that I can download and use free. And the next one is Pixabay. Same thing, just a bunch of stock images that are free. Let me grab the link for that. And drop that into the chat for you. Here comes that link for Pixabay, free, royalty-free images for you to use in your email, social media, or wherever you want. Pretty cool tool, and a lot of people like to use images and sometimes just don't know where to go for them. So Unsplash and Pixabay or MyPix. There are paid versions like Getty Images, 123rf.com. I think Adobe even has their version. Just make sure you're using good, high-quality images in your emails. And then last is maybe you're building a template where what you want to do is create something, but have it be saved as a template and just use it. And you need some filler text for that. What you can do is use a Latin generator like this one here, which I like, loremipsum.io. Let me go ahead and flip the banner and then also put the comment, the link in the comment for you as well. There it comes. This is my favorite one. It allows you to say how many paragraphs you want. So maybe I only want 3 paragraphs, and then it can generate it. There's my 3 paragraphs of text. Maybe I just want 1 because it's a small section. I can click generate, and I can easily click copy. So this is a great way to take text to put as a placeholder into an email or a template. Maybe you want to see what something's going to look like with a paragraph of text before you go ahead and actually put in your copy, and ensure that it looks good. And then it could be filler text for a template that you're going to have that you're always going to change out your content, which is pretty cool. A little bit of a pro tip: if you are taking content from somewhere else, like a website or a Word document, a lot of times you don't want to just copy that and paste it directly into your email editor, say at iContact, Campaigner, or wherever, because a lot of times it'll retain that formatting. And what you need to do is make sure that it might retain whatever formatting is in the template you're in, or you want it to look normal, right? What you can do is use Notepad on a Windows machine or text edit on the Mac. What you could do is paste it there first, and it kind of sterilizes it. Then you copy it from there and then paste it into your editor, and you will not have any formatting issues. And at times, even if you do copy from a website or a Word document, what will happen is if you paste it in, it might still look okay. Well, when you actually send it out, somebody say using Outlook 2016 on a Windows machine, it might look really weird to them. The font may be huge or it might be a different font. That's why you want to kind of sterilize that text and make sure that your email looks the best that it can. Now, as far as free tools, that's really all I have. So what I want to do is see if you have any questions, see if there's anything that I can help you with. I see there's somebody on now. If you want to comment where you're from, who you are, and let me know if you have any questions, email marketing, digital marketing, whatever it is, I'd be happy to answer that. But just to recap, we went over the Ultimate Design Lookbook from iContact, where we looked through some examples of really well-crafted emails that can give you inspiration and let you know what elements you need to be using or doing better with. Then we did the Ultimate Subject Line Guide, which gave you 501 examples of good and bad performing subject lines. And these links are all in the comments, so hopefully you guys will find those helpful. Our 2020 content calendar that has every month in there, gives you inspiration on sending content, whether it's around a specific holiday, fun, or a national holiday. There's a checklist to make sure you're doing everything you need to do. And then there's your planning page for your email. Then we went down through the countdown timer for nifty images. We looked at Unsplash and Pixabay for your stock images, so you can have beautiful looking images in your emails. And then we looked at the Latin text generator that you can copy and paste and put into your email templates as placeholder content. Well, that's going to do it. It is a lunch and learn. I want to keep it short. Hopefully it was helpful. Let me know if you have any comments, feedback in the comments. Let me know if there's any topics that you want me to do in the future. I'm going to do these Hang with Hanks for a little bit while longer and hoping to help you out. But I want to make sure I'm doing something that's valuable to the community. So hit me up. Let me know what's good. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend wherever you are.